Okay, had to figure out how to turn the camera around on the new iPad, sorry.
Hello to everybody, my name is Federica and I've been working with Con and she talked with me, we heard some of your questions and I read it all and we discussed about how to give you some of the answers. I decided instead of answering one question after another is to start with some definitions, because I think if we don't define words it's very difficult then to answer questions that are very specific. So you talk a lot about the word art, and for me it's very important to understand what it means art. And so I give you my definition of art, and from here I start a journey of definitions of other words, hoping that that will help you to understand of some of the questions that you've wrote. So for me art is any form or activity made by individuals or a collective which leads to a form of creativity with an aesthetic expression. So art has to do with creativity and aesthetic, any aesthetic expressions. And those are accomplished by study or experience in life with technical arrangements or technical skills, innate or acquired ability, or behavioral rules. So this is for me what art is. It's a combination of creativity and aesthetic. So then the question is, what do you mean with creativity? So creativity for me is the ability to create. The ability to create. So to create, to invent. And creativity comes from the root core, K-O-R, that it means the person that makes from nothing, from scratch. And it's a Latin root. So an artist is a person that makes visible the invisible. And this is the main role of the artist in society, making the invisible visible. Then with which tools, with which media is another thing, but for me this is what I do. I make visible the invisible.
Can I ask a question that came to mind? If you have the ability to create but you don't create, is there still an artist there?
And so what do you do? You dream?
I don't know.
How do you know that you have the ability if you don't do it in practical?
Right. Okay, that's a good answer.
Okay.
Carry on.
No, so I gave the definition of art and then the definition of creativity. Now I really would like to give the definition of aesthetic, because it's one of the words that goes together with art. And aesthetic is the knowledge of beauty, on nature and in art. So aesthetic is the knowledge of beauty in nature and art. So then we go back to the word, then what is beauty? For Greek and Romans, beauty was an objective concept.
It was objective?
Objective concept. The subjective concept of beauty came with Illuminism and Romanticism. And that was the beginning of our chaos, because when we say beauty, it's beautiful what I like, that creates a lot of confusion. Okay?
Mm.
And this is a lot that has to refer with art. So I prefer the concept of beauty that is objective. So to create art, but also to live.
Live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, beauty, my reference for beauty is nature. And so beauty has two levels. It's the visible beauty that has to do with symmetry, and the invisible beauty that has to do with harmony. And this was also the definition of Greek and Romance. Beauty was objective, it had to do with symmetries, when it was about visible beauty, and harmony was when it was about invisible beauty. So then art has to do with those words: creativity, aesthetic, and beauty. So a lot of your... I wanted to start with this because it's very important to define those words before going on. And a lot of your questions were about, yes, but do I define myself an artist? When an artist is an artist, how is my art or not art? They were, let's see, how do we make decisions with art, and so on. For me, an artist is just a label. So it's up to you to decide what, if you are or you're not an artist. I think the most important masterpiece that we can create in life is our life. And so with this, it's very important that art is not this is for me, because life is my masterpiece, okay? Then the form in which I make my life, they are the components of my masterpiece. And so there is a lot of misunderstanding of what art is, because many people think that art is an object or is a practice. Like I'm an artist because I'm a painter, I'm an artist because I'm a sculptor, I'm an artist because I'm a video maker. So there are forms, but in reality, artist is a person that creates with aesthetic. So you feel that you're an artist where every day, from when you wake up in the morning until you go to sleep, you perpetuate this practice of creating with aesthetic, with beauty. That is a beauty for yourself and for the people that are around you. And the reference, the point of reference that I take is nature, okay? And beauty, how do I feel that what I do is beautiful or not? Again, it's a matter of symmetries and harmony. If my gesture is harmonic with myself and the things that are around me, then I'm creating something beautiful. If my gesture, action, or object is in symmetry, so has to do with mathematics, with the rules of nature and the things that are around, then I'm creating beauty. And so I'm creating art. So for me, there is no difference in the feeling when I open my refrigerator and I decide to make a salad. And then I give this salad to the people, because the salad that I will create, it will be aesthetically beautiful and good, in harmony with colors, the form that I choose of the bowl, and the elements that compose the salad. So for me that is a piece of art. So art,
And she does it very well, I might add.
for me art is deciding to live in a place that is in harmony with who I am. So it's deciding if I take a job or don't take a job, because it has to do, every decision that I take has to be an act of creativity, so create from nothing. It has to be aesthetic, so that I feel good with what I'm doing, and it's with rules of mathematics that integrate my life with what is around. So I really wanted to tell you this, because then the rest is practice, you know. But the thing is, are you an artist or not? It really depends on you. For me, I am, because my life is my masterpiece, and so every day I explore with myself and with others how to live in this life, how to make a better life, how to give and receive beauty, because I think it's the really only thing that makes us every day a better person if we explore beauty. And we have to the courage to explore also the worst that we are, and because if you stay in artist, that is another thing. A good artist is a person that doesn't have fear to explore the dark side. And because there is one thing that will always bring you back, that is the light and the beauty that you have as a human being, because you are unique in the world. So an artist has the responsibility to find first the sparking light of their own life, and from there grab this sparking light, this unique things that you have inside, and then from there you explore the light and the dark.
So we talked a little bit before we in preparation about inspiration and motivation and what's practical, what works, what doesn't work when you are working in a group, working in a community, or just working by yourself. How does one ask oneself questions like this that motivate you, inspire you, or how do you say what you do so that it makes sense to people who don't understand?
I didn't understand the question. Too long?
So artists, from my experience working with doing these workshops that I've been doing, motivation is a question, and how an art practice fits into a practical life. I want to be an artist, but I have to make money. I have to have a job, so I don't have time to make.
Okay.
Or
But we go back to the same, to the beginning.
Mhm.
Okay. I just told you that art is not. It's a label that our society put on some things, but not some others.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. An artist is a person that creates its own life with an aesthetic expression. Then you can do art pieces in any moment of your life. Walking to work is an art piece. Relating with a person can be an art piece. It's just that you have to decide that every action that you do is an art piece that compose your masterpiece, that is your life. Okay? Art is not what society tells you that is art.
So your first
So it's
consideration is what is your masterpiece, not what others think about your masterpiece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the motivation is my life is my masterpiece. Or who am I?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, art is a way of being. It's not something far away from me. It's not that society tells me that this is art or this is not art. Art is a form of creativity with an aesthetic expression.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Something that I create by myself or with others. Okay? That is innovative, new, fun, beautiful, okay, with a strong, when I talk about aesthetic, it's really not just beautiful like visually, but it's also beautiful in the invisible part, emotionally beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
okay, relational beautiful. So, don't be like, how do you say, don't go out of direction, because society, since Romanticism, decided that art should stay in boxes.
Mm.
Museums, galleries, theater, okay, create boxes to where you go to experience art. And so what happened is that we forgot that art is the maximum expression of human being. So it's the best that we can make. And you have to do it every single day, every moment of your life. You co-create the masterpiece that is the humanity. Okay?
Oh, that's nice.
You are a co-creator of humanity, of the way in which we live, and you are a co-creator of the best of humanity only if you are able to create your masterpiece that is yourself in life.
Yeah. So we were talking about those questions that I sent her a list of questions that were my interpretation of what your questions were to a certain extent, and coming back to who is an artist, or do I have what it takes to be an artist, or how long before I feel like an artist, or whatever. And you, Feda, talked a lot about what instead of asking the questions to other people, how do we learn to ask and answer questions of ourselves?
I see, because many of the questions were like, I should give you the answer of your life. I mean, I was like there was one question, like for instance, but most are like this. When do you begin to call yourself an artist? I mean, first of all, why do you have to call yourself an artist? Okay? And I call myself an artist because every day I want to create, be free on the creation, fight to be free and not slave of the systems that are imposed, and with aesthetic expression. So in this, yes, I feel that I'm an artist, and I'm very honored to be an artist when I go to pick up my son, when I talk with the police, when I go to a restaurant, when I walk on the street, when I talk with my mother, when I talk with ministries of culture or industries, or when I work with hundreds of people, I'm an artist because always I have the feeling that I have the responsibility to create beauty. This for me is being an artist. It doesn't matter where. Then yes, I can create a nice object, but I can create a nice relation. I can explore life in a way of understanding how I can live a better life and how I can live in relation with others and how we together can create a beautiful masterpiece. Because as a human being we have the ability to do it.
So remember when we did the interview that was the podcast for the Museum of Contemporary Religious Art, and I said, do you consider the practice of an artist to be a spiritual practice?
See, no, but it's part of,
Yes.
you know, contemplation, I think, is the word that I will use.
Yeah.
The ability to contemplate. It means that that is the invisible beauty, what is concept of harmony, you know. Contemplation is a tool that allows you to feel part of the universe and experience beauty. When I'm inside nature and I contemplate, I have the experience of being part of that element. When I see Pietro, my son of 19 months, with a filter of contemplation, okay, I see the amazing potentiality that we have as a human being and how much we lost on the way of living, because a child is pure. So I'm here in this life to relearn how to be like Pietro, without judgment, with this eye of surprise every time that he sees something, with this amazing love that he gives and wants, without nothing to exchange, just because love is love. And so my life is about erasing what I learned in order to go back where Pietro is, but with consciousness.
Oh. I think that might be a good place to start.
Okay.
Unless you think you can top that.
No.
Maybe just one more question.
Yes.
So when you said no judgment, surprise, love, consciousness, connection. I've said this to you before. Seth Godin is someone that I read quite a bit, and he does a blog post, and there was a blog post a few years ago that just sticks with me and relates to this, for me at least. He says we use the word interesting too much. And artists use that word. Oh, I'm interested in, or this is interesting because, and he says it doesn't have any meaning or you have to give it your own meaning, the word interesting. And his definition of that word is it needs to be surprising and it needs to tell the truth.
I don't think people say interesting without.
No, they don't. No,
I
that's
think,
that's his but
yeah.
for me, it rings true.
Yeah, but I think, well, you know, words takes the first study. Each word has its own. When I use a word, it's not just the dictionary meaning, but it's my experience. Okay, so this is why it's very important always in a group to do the exercise, the co-creation exercise, that is the alignment. What does it mean, this word, for each of us, and then we decide what it means for us. Each word. This is why I started with defining words, okay? Because if I talk about art, I have my own definition. It's very unique also as a definition. You have your own, and the other also another one. And so we can go on hours talking about creating 3, 4, 5 movies. and we never find a solution. I think that word means for a lot of people, oh, interesting, maybe I can explore it.
I think that people who walk in the world with no judgment, with putting love first, love and connection first, are surprising to other people.
Yes, or are rejected, but it's the same thing.
Well,
yeah. That is the other thing that I learned in life, that it's good if you have these oppositions, okay? There are people that are, I don't want to say reject, but they have difficulties to understand this way of perceiving life, because they are inside boxes.
Those darn boxes.
And so a very Cartesian way of living life. And then there are other people like myself, or like many others, that are understanding that life has to be lived as a systemic vision. And so in the middle there are a lot of judgment, but who cares? You know, it's just
Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Ciao!